So today I'm gonna be showing this lovely deck to you guys. The main concept of this deck is to burn the people's mons slowly but quickly. So Charizard's in this deck, Rapidash is in this deck, Salazzle's in this deck, Talonflame's in this deck, along with Centiskorch. Beautiful deck. I've had very little loss rate with this deck, and I love this centiskorch for its ability. So we're rocking some evolutional incense, some fucking fire crystal, couple Pokeballs, Spike Myth, Rock's Grit, Pop, Misty's Gift, Poke Kid, and Welder. And then we have 15 energies in the deck. So we're doing good there. So let's get into these battles, shall we? Give me a minute here. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting myself started. All right. So when it comes to a coin flip, I'm always picking heads. There's never not a time where I don't pick heads. And that's simply because I figure either way I go, I got a 50-50 shot. And so far my luck's been even with heads, and me getting that coin flip wrong, they still end up making me go first. So in this duel, we started out with Ponyta, just because that's what the game gave us. I do believe we throw Fletching out, do the incense, grab our Fletchinder, use double check our Ponyta. Always got to check to see if they're not allowing you to do some shit on your turn. So they came at me with an electric deck, right? Tapu Koko, not a bad card. Zapdos is all right as well. Not one of my choices as far as an electric deck goes, but it gets the job done. But anyways, she's gonna take her turn, finish this off with doing nothing. I'm sitting here rambling like a fool to myself, trying to figure out my next game plan, and I come to the conclusion I'm going to evolve that Fletchinder, that Ponyta, then I'm going to play Misty's Favor. We're going to grab Hop, Poke Kid, and Welder. From there, I'm going to punch this thing in the flipping head. No, I'm gonna burn it. Even though I ain't got centiskorch out on the field, on the bench, still go for that burn. I think where I was thinking with that was 130 damage. It's gonna take 2 agilities when I can do 40 damage off of this burn, and then hit it with the 60 damage. From the 60 damage, rock it out. It dies right after I attack it, as long as it doesn't heal its burn. And then we just go to town. We kick its ass. Now, I saw the 2 tag teams. I was concerned with them especially that that Zekrom and Pikachu tag team, because I've seen what harm that can do, and it really concerned me considering I only had 2 Pokemon on my bench. So now I'm planning out my next move. I'm sitting there going, Welder, if we've got... Well, I'm going, there's no point in using the Welder. We can use either Hop or Polka Kid. We kind of need energy, but we don't really need it bad enough right now. So I do believe I ended up going with the Polka Kid here to get Talonflame. To get to the 3rd form on him. So that way we could be ready to go when he decided to kill the Rapidash, if the Rapidash was. And next turn after that, go with the 3-card draw and hope for the best is what I do believe I was going for. Person's taking their sweet old time, thinking it over, trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Clearly isn't drawing any more energy. But looking at this lovely character, she looks like she came for some business and she meant to do some harm. So I follow that lovely. Give it the energy, because I see no point in wasting the Welder. It survives off of the burn, no big deal. Just hit it next time, hope for a heads on our attack. So that way, whatever she throws in, we can survive scot-free, essentially. What I'm doing there is I'm talking out to myself once again what I'm going to do or what I'm concerned about. And those tag teams were definitely both a big concern, considering I wasn't seeing the Charmander, the Charmeleon, or the Charizard yet. I don't even know if I did see them this game. Nope, she gave up. Plain and simple. On to the next. No fancy transitions here, folks. Just nice, quick to the game. No bullshit. All right. So this one, I think I spent a minute trying to figure out my own gameplay here, because you'll see here in a minute what I do with that mouse is I swipe over my deck, because, or not over my deck, but over my card hand, and go, I already know it's a mulligan. So I just run my thing showing that it's going away and that there's nothing special there. So we load the bench, get Salazzle out, out there, ready to go to get us some more mons. Next turn we'll throw down Hop, depending on what it is we do, or what we draw. Not so much off of the fact that we draw something in. So I have a bad habit, and it's a very bad habit that I shouldn't be doing, of even on the first turn I still click my to land it, or whatever Pokemon I have out on the field as my active Pokemon, just because I've screwed myself out of attacks before, and now to combat that, I just straight up click on it regardless. of whether or not it's the first turn or not. So we play hop, we get fires, welder. I'm like, well, this kind of helps with loading up Sizzlepede. We don't really need to use it on the Ponytas here. Calling the evolution of the Sizzlepede. Because next turn we're gonna centiskorch it. We're gonna use the welders, get those 2 fires on it, get it loaded up with all three fires, I'm pretty sure. But I think I ended up deciding not to, and we ended up throwing that 3rd energy on the Ponyta. Just in case we drew that Rapidash, we had something that I could for sure throw out active when and if he killed my Salandit. So we did that in preparation for whatever this guy was going to throw at us. So I checked because I couldn't recognize what was on his bench. Turned out to be a Frostmoth. I'm like, oh, he can just throw water energies onto his bench Pokemon. That's not good. We need to deal with that as quickly as we can. So I'm like, we'll do what I want to do. We'll get centiskorch loaded up with some energies. Get these guys. I realize Salazzle came in. I'm like, we got an energy on this thing. We got a spare one. Let's throw it in. Get rid of this Manaphy real quick. Cost of the 2 energies. And this way, his Frostmoth is useless as long as he has nothing on the bench. Comes out, plays that. Take a card, got a free out of it. That wasn't really important, but might come in handy later. Never know. Taking his time, deciding what he wants to do. At that point, I decide that he just has a bad hand and needs some benched Pokemon, so he just throws his hand back into his deck. Plays 2 Camarants, both V and Shiny. First thing he does is load up the first one for Hydro Pumps. I think he has another one. Well, not quite sure. Don't remember. Don't quote me on it. So I'm like, okay, cool. We got this, and going. Throw that out. Get my Rapidash. Oh, why would I go? Oh, because I got the Charmander. I'm like, you know what? Just in case, I'm gonna need this to deal with the big boy in the back there. Because this deck has some hard hitters, but it's not Centiskorch's job to be out on the field. It's Centiskorch's job to kind of sit back on the bench with its ability. I'm checking to make sure there's nothing I can pull back out of my graveyard. Talking about both the Centiskorch that I don't need and the Talonflames, how they're all 3 useless at this point. I debate it for a minute. I'm like, yeah, let's go Charizard. Ponyta's cool and all, but we really got to get that beam Cramorant dealt with as soon as it comes out on the field. Grab those because I'm like, I need to be able to grab them on. I need to draw some energy, and I need more. So here, I believe we end up going with the top to get some more energies, so we can top off the Ponyta, because I want Ponyta to be ready, which we drew the Rapidash. Good, that worked for us. I don't know why I did that. It still worked out in our favor because luckily the Frostmoth didn't have anything on it, and he was heavily focused in loading up his bench Pokemon over this Frostmoth. So I'm like, okay, we're playing Polka-Kid next turn. I do believe I was I went and ended up grabbing a Fletchling for this, so that way I could start getting a Talonflame out on the bench as well, so that way I had a nice diversity of burn ability over just having the Salazzle and the Ponyta or the Rapidash that could burn. So we throw that, we look, we grab the Fletchling, throw that bad boy on the field or on the bench, hit it with another 20, because at this point I see no point in throwing an energy, because it's going to die as soon as one of those big boys come out. We prepped for it. I do believe I threw, you know what, I ain't gonna pretend. I don't know who I threw out after this. Oh, that's right. I was like, why do you throw out the Fletchling? The Fletchling does absolutely nothing. And then I went and I think I read the card beforehand after that, because I thought that was a dumb move or whatever. But it was actually a smart move, because it eliminated the Charizard out of the picture completely. Pokeball, I think we got our Fletchling. Evolved that bad boy, threw a thing on it. This is where I screwed up when I did evolve that Fletchling, because I got a little cocky with the Fletchling. Like, you know what? He just dumped all his energy. Let's fucking load this Fletchling. He ain't gonna be able to do anything. I feel it was a mistake. It may not have actually been a mistake. It's just how I felt after I made the play. So we evolved that Ponyta for no other reason than we can. Get this out here. We do, yeah, we top off the Centis. I don't know exactly. We grab the Charizard and the Charmander out of this, along with the 4 energies, because we need those energies. Because with the Charizard, you burn through those things like they're nothing. So we burn it. We're like, okay, we got another turn. This is gonna get him up closer to 100. With us doing 100 damage to it and 50 damage to the bench, like, we can make this work pretty easily. I've already got 2 fire energies on this thing. He's ready to go. And I'm like, do we Polka-Kid or do we hop? I'm like, well, we don't really need another Pokemon, but we could definitely go Polka-Kid. It really came down to whether or not we drew an energy. So he got hurt, obviously. So we're like, okay, what do we do here? We can't use the incense. There's no point. So we go Polka-Kid, grab a Charmander to load up another Charizard. Then we hit him with Flare Raid. Like, cool, Flare Raid. That'll kill his Cramorant. And then I'm checking to see who will essentially be closest to death if I do the 50 damage. And I chose Snom because 50 health, free card, without any extra turns wasted. He throws out the loaded Cramorant. I'm like, cool, this is easy. I've got this. Done. One prize card. All I have to do is take the hit, let him get his one prize card, throw out centiskorch, and it's done. So I'm just sitting there waiting as he makes up his mind. I don't know whether or not he was trying to debate on what he was doing, or if he just didn't look at the board as a whole and realize that there I am looking at how many energies the thing has on it, plus what the damage is going to be from the Camarants or from the moveset. And I'm guessing the only reason he didn't put out sooner was simply because he wanted to kill this Talonflame really badly. So here in this match was an interesting match. Out of the 4 that I recorded, I ended up not including one of the matches. Really didn't want past 35 minutes. But we threw Fletchling out, give it its energy. Didn't click on it for probably the lack of me paying attention. Check to see what its health is because I can't read that card when it's just sitting there on the field. So I'm like, okay, well, we've got an issue. We've got 2 turns before this thing starts just whooping up on anything I have. I need to go hop card, get 3 cards, hope that I get some bench Pokemon going, because otherwise I'm just not getting nowhere. So I hit it with a tackle, does absolutely nothing. Jacks me. He loads it up with another energy, does 50 damage. I lucked out there. Get to throw hop down, gives me a Salandit. I'm like, okay, well, there's no point in putting anything on the Fletchling, is what I'm working out now. So I grab that energy, throw it on the Salandit, retreat the Fletchling in hopes that I get the Fletchendeer and that he doesn't kill me quickly. Give it a little poison, something that can't be cleared off of deck, and hope for the best, right? That is the hope anyways. So it does a little damage, grabs some more energy. I'm like, okay, well, now I really don't have anything going for me here. I don't see a point in throwing energies away, so let's grab some cards that might help me here get out of this pinch. So next, I think I just skip my turn, or end my turn, because I'm like, he's already poisoned, it does no damage, let's move on. Or I say fuck it and do it for the shits and giggles. Alright, I swapped them out, give it another energy. I don't remember doing that. Oh, that's right. This was the game where I played switchies back and forth with my Pokemon, which I normally never do. Usually my Pokemon stay out there till the bitter end. So with that, Fletchling's gone. He gets a free card. I throw Landed out, hoping like hell I get something pull another flippin' fletchling. We grab, I think, yeah, the Lazzle. I don't know why I grabbed that, but I grabbed it. Oh, I'm like, okay, I see why. So I did it because I'm like, I just need to do damage to this thing and hope like hell I get something on my bench that I can get loaded up with energy to really hurt this thing, right? Gonna get it slowly but surely, hopefully, or at least that's what I'm hoping happens. Then he plays the Kabalion. Worst move that probably sealed my fate almost immediately, taking away the ability of what the deck's purpose is of just burning or poisoning, depending on whether or not Salandit's out there or not. I double check what its ability does, go, oh shit. Then on that note, I'm like, okay, I really need some bench Pokemon here, or I'm not coming out of this thing alive. So I throw the Fletch down, I throw the Hop up. I was debating Incense or Hop first there. I get the Ponyta, I'm like, cool, that's good. We'll grab this, we'll get the Fletchendeer. Almost decided to look at my deck there as well to see kind of what I got in it and what's in the prize cards. So I attach that, attack him, do absolutely nothing to it. I'm like, nah, we can't be wasting the energies. We're down to 5. Worst case scenario, we need to save him for Charizard if we can get Charizard. Meanwhile, he's loading their bench up, and I'm just sitting here going, oh boy. When I saw that Wind didn't come out, I'm like, yay, this is gonna kick me in the balls. So anyways, we upgrade that, we throw Welder to give Ponyta the 2 energy, we agility to try and save our ass here, which works a little bit. We get our heads, so at least we're safe for a turn to try and get another basic mon out of our deck. Kinda hoping for the best. That luck will be on my side. And that's another thing too. Usually when I play, not too many opponents will I see not just attack the Rapidash even when it's got the right coin flip to it. They'll still bother to hit it instead of just be like, oh well, I'm not going to be able to do damage this turn to it. Let's just end the turn and not waste the animation time. At this point, I'm just happy to have the centipede out on the bench to try and save my ass for another turn, as he's getting lower and lower on cards. And then I throw centiskorch on it, grab that, grab the Charmander. At this point I realize I'm completely screwed. Like, I've got nothing. Like, right now that centiskorch is a wall that he's gonna tear down pretty damn quickly. I'm just like, okay, we'll try and get this Charmander, maybe I'll get lucky or something. And then at this point I'm like, well played. I realize I'm dead. I have no chance of winning this thing. and I'm out of there. Because I already know I'm gonna lose. I'm like, you know what? It's been a well, let's be nice here. Let's give him the kill. Like, he deserves that much after all my efforts. Like, he's done pretty good. I couldn't do nothing. Not from a lack of trying, but I just got unlucky with what I drew. I'm like, well, I take another quick look at what's on his bench, and I'm like, that's actually a pretty good setup as far as what he's got going on. All right, so we're gonna do one quick pack opening for you guys, and then we'll wrap the video up with the pack opening. Hope you all have a good one.